The Swords of Ditto is an action RPG which puts a modern gaming spin on the tried and tested tale of a hero who must overcome evil and save the world.
Ah, yes, the classic hero's journey. Or should that be hero's journey? Because this isn't just the tale of one, but many. Your story begins as you're awoken on a beach by a ghostly dung beetle named Puku, who very quickly guides you to claim an ancient sword. Thus, you become the next Sword of Ditto, who must set out to destroy the evil sorceress Mormo. So, you rush off to her lair, fight some monsters, solve some puzzles, step up to face her...
And you're dead.
Gee, that was quick.
Sure was. Fortunately, this is just the beginning of a long line of swords who must work collectively over many centuries. Ridding the land of Mormo's evil anchors, earning special gadgets, leveling up, completing toy dungeons, and ultimately defeating her once and for all.
It's such an interesting twist on the standard fantasy adventure, made even more intriguing by the idea that each time you're defeated, you return 100 years later. Where not only will things be better or worse for the people of Ditto, depending on how successful your legend was, but the layout of the world will have completely changed.
And speaking of change, each newly fated hero only has 4 in-game days to do as much good as possible. So don't go getting too attached to them, no matter how cute they are. It's all a bit of a shock the first time you die and return. In fact, I'd go as far as to say it's all a bit overwhelming and confusing.
Yeah, totally. The game throws you in the deep end rather quickly. Aside from a few prompts to purchase essential items and some vague directions, much of the game is left for you to discover through trial and error. And while I usually love this kind of learn-as-you-go gameplay, some more instruction would definitely have helped, at least earlier on.
Probably the biggest concept to wrap your head around is what you can and can't take with you into a new adventure, because this helps direct where you should be spending your very limited time.
Well, Rad, the Swords of Ditto is what's actually known as a roguelite, as opposed to a roguelike. Rogue referring to the randomized nature of the world each time you return, and light as to the level of penalty you receive, which in this case is the loss of gadgets collected from toy dungeons, as well as stickers that you purchase, which enable certain buffs and perks. And while you will retain any money and experience earned, keep in mind that enemies and dungeons will increase in difficulty too. So it's a good idea to grind through enemy mobs to always keep your hero leveling up.
Oh, good tips there, Daz. Once you have got a handle on the story, you can begin to explore the worlds deeper and try and uncover their many hidden secrets, such as mini-dungeons, as well as curious vendors and ancient relics that may even possess ways to make each playthrough a fraction easier.
Goose, I still don't know how I feel about this style of adventure overall. I can see what the developers were going for. Fun little adventures that you can return to with a new hero each time. But the amount of time required to rediscover each map, crawl through dungeons, repurchase items, it all feels a bit at odds with itself.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? While you can select a difficulty level from the beginning, this is a tough game that requires you to plan ahead. However, to take the sting out of it, you can always have a friend jump in and play co-op. And Rad, I had heaps more fun playing this way.
Oh, me too, Goosey old pal. Having another hero on hand makes everything easier. Earning dash, dealing with monsters, carrying your friends through trouble. Not to mention the best in-game revive system ever. Hugs!
Oh, how long does this go for?
Till you revive.
It is really cute. In fact, the whole art style is superb. All right, you can stop now. It almost feels like a love letter to adventure games that have come before. I definitely got a ton of old school Zelda vibes playing this.
Oh, it's scrumptious to look at, isn't it? But what did you think overall?
Well, Rad, I think I'm a bit torn. The Swords of Ditto manages to mix up a whole heap of interesting gameplay ideas that require you to plan out your adventure and play smart. And while mixing roguelike elements in with a traditional RPG is novel, I couldn't help yearn for a game with just a little more focus. So I'm giving this 3 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Well, there's no denying the level of creativity on show here, both from a gameplay perspective and in those utterly delightful visuals. And it is nice to play a co-op game with more depth than usual. So I'm giving it 3.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
All right, bring it in. Oh, there.